Welcome to the God Pod with Lord Jamar. Not a hard job to expose the fraud you are. P. Diddy, Kid Cudi, explode your car. Shit get ugly when I unload the scar. But this ain't PUBG. Shout out to my people around the world that love me. Peace to Artie Stacks, Digger and Godfrey. My people in the chat, all my niggas that got me. Rest in peace, fact checker rage. Got memories that never fade. You are still missed to this day. Sever with my blade what gets in my way. Never be a tether, this is FBA. I got games for whoever wanna play. Spit flames for forever and a day. Shit changed, then you better get away. You know my name, motherfucker, it's Lord J.
Hey, what's good? Easy Lane, Kelly, Real Petty Pendergrass, Leah Sawyer, Trap the Dawn. Get your ass up there right now. Get all behind that mic. Get your ass up there. We need to talk, Trap the Dawn. Oh, yeah. It was busy what it is. Hey, yo. What a difference a week makes. I brought my other man along today. I'm about to bring him on. One of my partners in crime, partners in film, and things of that nature. Shout out to the GPS. Thank you, DK, man. At the win. Yeah. My man, Petty. Okay. Peace. Welcome to the God Pod with Lord Jamar. I am Lord Jamar. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, actually. June 25th. Making today's math. Wisdom, power, refinement, all being born to God. Yeah, well, shit. Without any further ado, I don't want to bring my brother up here. You've heard me speak about him before in the past. I don't know if he's come on like visually on this joint. He might have called in and shit. But anyway, bring my man Roman to the stage right now. Roman, what's good?
Peace.
Peace, my brother. Wait, hang on. Let me give you the there you go. How are you today, my brother?
Ready to get into it. Let's go.
Ready to get into it.
Hold on. Before we get into it, you had a big weekend, yes?
Oh, yeah.
You had a big weekend, yes?
Yeah, I did have a big weekend.
Yeah.
I did have
a
big
weekend.
So Brand Nubian, we moseyed on down to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where we went to the National Hip Hop Museum and was inducted into the museum. We were inducted into their Hall of Fame. And we did a celebration show afterwards. We had legends such as my man Master G from the legendary Sugar Hill Gang was one of the inductors. Yeah, it was great. They made an ill like custom like a painting and shit, this ill painting and shit. Matter of fact, I think Pooh-Bah got away with that shit.
He ran off with it?
Yeah, I think he ran off with it early.
As he should.
But yeah, it was dope. A lot of people came out. A lot of my family came out. My wife came out, my daughter, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my cousin Ramel came out, my man Little Fourth came out. My man Twin, whole bunch of people. DJ FaZe was on the set. Shit. The actress Regina Hall came out. You know, a lot of people don't know she used to that used to be Sadat X's girl. So she came out. She's a DC girl, so she came out to support us, and she was out there with us. Yeah, we had a great time out there, you know. Then the next day, that morning, I got up and I went and got a tattoo in honor of my brother Wise, and it's not finished yet, but yeah, it was dope. Shout out to Bricks Tattoo out in VA. Bricks Tattoo.
So you got to go back to VA to get it finished?
Nah, he's coming to New York.
Okay.
He had to come up here anyway. He got clients like that. You know what I mean?
So that's, where did you get it at?
Huh?
Where'd you get the tattoo?
Right here. Yeah, it's on my chest right there and shit. Yeah, I don't feel like pulling it up and all that right now.
No.
But y'all, I think saw it on my story at least. I posted it on my story. Anyway, do I need to let me put the link in the description. Post that in the comments. Because maybe oh wait, what the hell happened? Copy. There we go. All right, that's the link. Now I would love for Trap the Don to come back up here. I'd love for Trap the Don because people, we have to go with truth and not narratives. Right? We got to go with what's real and not with what we want to be real. Somebody said the heart spot is for wifey, Lord J. No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. It's for a loved one, man. It don't have to be for your wife. It's my brother, man.
Physical.
Yeah, physical brother. Not just some shit you say. But anyway. So yeah, it's all about dealing with the truth. I know last week we discussed this topic, and a lot of people were, he got jumped by 4 guys. He went under the tent because there was a tornado and he was she was sheltering in place and all this fucking bullshit that turned out not to be true.
They fell on the knife. He fell on the knife.
4 guys jumped him. And, Trap the Don said, I'll be up shortly. Thank you. So,
why? Trap the Don?
Yeah, Trap the Don was, he's here. He's in the chat.
But he disagrees with.
Well, last week he was a proponent that made it seem like, things were going against Carmelo somehow, like, as if maybe this was justifiable, basically, is what I was getting from it. There were lies that I was hearing about, the judge knew the father and all this type of shit. That not true. Not true. Now, here's another thing I'll admit that's not true. He was not offered a plea deal. So some people put that into the mix. See, I'm going to keep it real. That would have fell good on my side because I could have said, oh, well, look, he was offered a plea deal, but his family was so fucking greedy. They denied the plea deal so they can keep getting money. That would have been a great narrative, but it's not true. So I'm not going to run with it. You see how that works? You don't have to run with the narrative just because it fits what you want to hear. Okay? So I did my due diligence and I found out, no, He was not offered a plea deal.
You know why he wasn't?
Exactly. I was going to say, you know why?
You know why he wasn't?
You know why he wasn't offered a plea deal? Tell him why, Roman.
Because he was guilty. Dead to rights.
Because they had him dead to rights. There was no reason to offer a plea deal. They knew they had him on video. Push, stab. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yes.
When does a push elevate to the level of a stabbing? Oh, there was also some lies going around trying to say that the other young man, the white man, might have been on drugs, on Molly. You know, they tried to do like a reverse George Floyd. But really? He wasn't.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was a lie. It was just some bullshit.
I'm sure they do toxicology and all of that. They you know. Yeah.
It was not true. But even if he was high, you see, which he wasn't. But even if he was, so the fuck what?
Yeah.
Why does that now make him worthy of being stabbed?
He's 17 years old and he's white. He's going to be high off of pre-workout or illegal Percocets, whatever the fuck he's on. That does not justify him being murdered. Murdered. Like, we got to understand, when we talk about self-defense, you know, it's supposed to be equal. I mean, if the force is greater, if you push me and then I punch you, that's still around. I up the force, right? But it's still in the same genre of force. You see what I'm saying? We're using our hands. We're using physicality. When you go from a push to a stab or a push to a shooting, that's not the same proportionate amount of force. That's not the same amount of force as a fucking push. It's just not. If you have two people, forget about race. You have two people on a train, and you know there's always that little kind of space in between, and one person gets in and nudges the other person. The other person looks at him, he nudges him again. Does that give the person a right to just stab them for nudging them? No. A push. It wasn't even a punch. Did you see the video?
I saw the video.
It wasn't even a punch.
If everybody here has saw the video.
No,
or
they have.
Just going off of emotions.
They're going to say, you know, it's grainy. We have 4K phones. Why can't we see it up close? That's what they're going to say. Well, you know what? Because they didn't expect that there would be a murder in the tent and say, you know what? We got to put a fucking 8K high resolution GoPro camera right in the middle of my fucking
facts.
Right in the middle of the track equipment. It's crazy. Listen, there wasn't even a punch thrown. There wasn't two punches thrown. It was two pushes.
Here's where the bullshit comes in. Somebody is saying, I have not seen the video. I saw the video of him running in about a whole gang of people chasing him. What? Which basically proves that it was a gang that was assaulting him when he stabbed. What the fuck are he talking about? What video is that?
I saw what. Let me hold on. You pulled it up. I've seen the video, a whole video. First of all, no one chased him.
First, he says, I have not seen the video. Then it says, I saw the video of him running in about a whole gang of people chasing him, which basically proves that it was a gang that was assaulting him when he stabbed.
Now,
some bullshit,
sir. That gang of people chasing him were the cops. After he stabbed him, because nobody chased him out of the tent.
Right.
he actually he didn't even run out of the tent. If you really look, it was sort of like a light, a light jog away from the tent, and no one followed him. Actually, one person seemed to point to a security officer and told the officer, he's over there. And then that's when the cops seemed to come in.
Somebody said, I'm so confused on this Anthony Metcalf situation. So much misinformation. And I think that's the point. I think they want people to be confused these days. They don't want peace, great Mahdi. They don't want people to know what's right, what's up, what's down, what's a man, what's a woman. Just be confused about everything. Yeah.
If and I think if you just personalize it, if anyone has a son, if anyone has a child, people get into street fights all the time. It's a street fight. It's a schoolyard fight. It's a push. I didn't see anybody jumping them. I did see that the white kid had a bunch of people with him, and no one touched the other kid at all.
At all. And I didn't see people surrounding him and all of this fucking shit that people are talking about.
Now, these are facts, and that I heard were facts. That he got caught and suspended for bringing that knife into school 2 weeks earlier, and he wasn't even supposed to be at that track meet because he was suspended.
Peace, Derek's death threat. Right, but see, now listen to shit like this. Keep your hands to your fucking self. How about that? You don't get to touch someone and dictate how they respond. See, that's such like a pussy fucking shit right there, though. Like, listen to that. And see, that right there did not come from your mind, E. Cannon. You know why? Because I heard that same exact response from multiple people. That's the CIA response. That's the response that they stick into the matrix for fucking assholes to just repeat like parrots. Because not a word of that was original. I'm sorry. Keeping your hands to yourself, pushing someone does not, I don't give a fuck. It does not equate to being able to stab them. It just doesn't. We have our brother Trap the Dawn in the house. We're gonna bring him up to the stage now. Trap the Dawn, how are you, brother? Hang on, let me give you the How are you, bro? Can you hear me, Trap? Oh, Trap is frozen right now. Trap frozen. This topic got him frozen.
Yeah.
Look. He's like, well,
yeah.
Well, I want to say is, there you go.
There he is.
Sorry, Lord J, can you hear me?
Yes, now I hear you, Trap. How are you, brother?
Good. My apologies, man. The internet connection has been tripping the past couple of days, so my bad.
No problem. So it's good to have you back. You were here last week. We were talking about this. There was a lot of misinformation going on at that time. Subsequently, the video came out of what actually happened, and what's your take on it now that you've seen the video? How do you feel about it? You still feel the same, or what's going on?
I do. I still feel the same.
Okay.
Well, because so like I said last week, prior to being on your show, I never really spoke on the case because there was just too much speculation. There's just too many loose ends, not enough factual information. And so once we got a verdict, I felt like, okay, we have enough information to kind of start talking about it a little bit more. in the right way. And so, even though that there was a video that came out, in my personal opinion, none of us really seen that real video. I mean, there are subtle nuances that you could see in the video. Obviously, you could see Carmelo running away. You could see people chasing him, but people are failing to realize that there was a whole confrontation going on under that tent for about 4 or 5 minutes before you see Carmelo run away. So
where was that though? Because we see him walk up. Don't we see him walk up to the tent? That's
exactly.
So where is the confrontation 4 or 5 minutes that and then leading to this? It seemed like he walked up there, then he's just there, and a push and then a stab. Like, well, I don't. Even if there was a confrontation, let's say there was some sort of verbal confrontation for 4 or 5 minutes. So the fuck what?
Right.
Why was your response when you got pushed to automatically stab someone? I don't get that.
Let me ask you this, Lord Jamar. Do you yourself, as well as you, Roman, do you have authority over somebody else?
That's not the question here.
It is the question
is, if somebody pushes you, is stabbing them a proper response? And is that something, let me ask you something. Is that something that you would teach your child?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then.
Absolutely not.
So let's get to it. Maybe what this is, we should be talking more about the failure of the parents here, because a teenager should never think that a knife is an acceptable response to a verbal dispute or even a pushing.
I agree. But when you take it, but when you take it upon yourself to have that entitlement of I have authority over other people, in the real world, you have no ability to control what's going to come after you. Even if you tap somebody on the shoulder, right? You have no ability to control what they're going to do. And so, as I've stated numerous times, I don't agree with the fact that Austin Metcalf lost his life. I'm a parent, and like I said, I never would want to bury any of my children. At the same time, I never would want to have to do time with my child of 35 years behind bars. And so I think that if we're going to talk about Carmelo stabbing Austin, we cannot leave out the fact that Austin started the altercation. And I think that's the conflation that's going on, is everybody's so focused on, oh, Carmelo stabbed Austin, it's wrong, he's a pussy, he did this. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, when you're under a tent, again, there's a video that came out.
There was no fucking tornado like niggas was talking about last week. He was sheltering in place from a tornado and all this fucking crazy shit that was not true.
I mean, I heard that from. That's what I heard from a few parents, and I heard that
see anything like that.
Yeah, no, we didn't see any. And again, that's why I didn't.
It was drizzling because it didn't even look like it was raining. But
Trap. What is your? Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you come up? Were you from the inner city? Were you from the suburbs? Did you ever get Did you ever get your jaw tested when you were a kid? Yeah, get your jaw tested. You shot the
absolutely.
Squared up, squabbled. You did all of that, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
At any point, when you got, sucker punched, creamed from the back, did you ever say, "I'm going to take a knife out"? And a kid who's my age, roughly about my size, they're lying about his weight. That's another thing too. They're framing it like he was 135 pounds when he was closer to 170. So there's only really a 30-pound difference. Did you ever say, "Hey, I'm just going to take a knife out and just
that's still a big difference"? Guy? No. I never said that.
You never did.
No,
you never did.
No.
Okay. Would you say that Carmelo was his life was threatened?
Yes.
His life was threatened.
You thought
Yes,
his life was threatened?
because this is the point that I was making last week, right?
His life
Last
was
week,
threatened. His
yes,
life
Hang
was
on.
threatened.
yes,
I want to hear
yes.
how he's saying this. How
Like I
is he
said,
threatened?
like I said last week, this was a slam dunk case for the judge and the prosecution. Carmelo literally didn't even make a case for self-defense. The only objective for Carmelo's defense was to try to get the prosecutor to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Carmelo intentionally decided to delete Austin. That was the primary objective of Carmelo's defense. If Carmelo actually had an adequate defense, in my personal opinion, I don't see Carmelo doing 35 years. Maybe he gets probation. Maybe he gets manslaughter.
Hey, how was his life threatened? You didn't
His life was threatened because it wasn't just Austin that actually touched Carmelo. Again, there's a whole
on the video. Yeah, it is.
no on the video that the public is seeing. There's actually longer versions of the video floating around on X.
Now we going on. Now we going on.
But we're having the discussion. We're having the discussion.
We're having a discussion about the video we saw, not the video we're making up. Like we made up fucking hurricanes that we didn't have. So we're talking about videos we haven't seen. We saw this video.
I never said. I think so. So let's make it clear. I never said Carmelo was jumped. I never said Carmelo was jumped. I said there was confrontation. There was things going on.
His life was threatened. You said his life was threatened.
I believe that his life was threatened.
His life was threatened.
But what makes you believe that?
How?
Did you
because he was outnumbered. Because he was outnumbered, and that there were other people that touched him other than Austin.
Where?
And this is what I'm saying.
Let me ask you this question. Then when they asked him to leave, why didn't he just leave?
He did leave.
Yeah, after he
stabbed him, he fucking ran.
He killed somebody.
And if he really did it in self-defense, why didn't he stab him and say, "Hey, he touched me. He shouldn't have fucking touched me." No, he fucking stabbed him
because he's a 17-year-old child. That's why. And I think,
should that mean that he should be free of consequence?
That doesn't mean that he should be free of consequence, but he does have the ability to claim self-defense if he felt like he was afraid for his life, we all do.
You have a right to claim it.
Is self-defense not a given right that we have?
Oh yeah,
if it's warranted. But hang on, let me just address some things real quick. Shout out to Godbody Rafi, peace to you, my brother. He said, "Peace, Lord." And thank you for your super chat. He actually has two right now. He said, "Peace, Lord. Here it is. We have been at war with these devils forever. And in short, we want to see a win. We don't care what is right at this point because we are dealing with the unrighteous. We are tired. This people aren't saying, but feel, point blank." Now, I can dig it. The God is saying, listen, we don't give a fuck. We want to win. We want, and sometimes we don't care, right or wrong. Godbody also said, hang on. Godbody also goes on to say, remember Daniel Penny choked out Jordan Neely and they used self-defense and he didn't harm anyone. He got off. We are tired of being held to moral standards amongst the immoral. They don't use logic. They use a system called RWS, their playbook. Now, I hear what you say, Godbody Rafi, but here's what do we say? When they go low, we go high. Like, if we're righteous, then we can't do the same shit as the unrighteous. So when we see some unrighteous shit, God, we can't say just because we want to win that, you know what, that was righteous. Like, we got to call unrighteous what it is, and we got to call righteous what it is, regardless what the fucking skin color is. Let me tell you a quick story before I bring Zachary K. Hub into the fucking conversation. I see you down there, Zachary. So when I was going to high school, I went to an alternative high school and shit. You know what I mean? A lot of bad kids and shit like that. Now, I'm not even sure if I should tell the races of the people, but one kid was white and one kid was black. And basically one kid was bullying the other kid, right? And he was getting dropped off. We used to have to drop this kid off at a different school. And when he got off the bus, he was bullying this kid verbally on the bus. And when he got off, he fucking spit in the kid's face. Fuck it. The black kid spit in the white boy's face. Right? That's what happened. So after he did that, we all fucking laughed. He spit in your face. The white boy said, that's all right. Because when he get on the bus tomorrow, I'm gonna burn him up. And we like, shut the fuck up. You ain't gonna do shit. Next day, this motherfucker comes on the bus with a styrofoam cup. Now, people who used to get on the shit with coffee and shit like that, he gets on with a styrofoam cup, walks up to homeboy, fucking throws lighter fluid, lights the motherfucker on fire. Was he warranted? Was it self-defense? I'm just asking for a friend.
Should the black boy have spit on him?
Nope. But was burning his fucking face up, 3rd-degree burns with a motherfucker to this fucking day. You can wipe spit off your face, but you can't wipe 3rd-degree burns off.
Hold on 1 second.
Justified.
Before we move on.
And that guy went to jail.
The homie who just sent those super chats?
Yes.
Shout out to you. He's right.
Yes.
But he's right in admitting he's wrong.
Right.
I know this is not righteous. I know this is not right.
I think he understands that.
I don't give a fuck because I'm tired of these motherfuckers. And
if we can say that and be honest about that, you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, if you could just say that, like, listen, I don't give a fuck if we was right or wrong. We just want to win. If y'all say that as black people,
we want to win.
We
want to win.
Well, for the record, I don't fall in that. I want to win vote. I don't fall in that.
Okay, well, I want to stand on what's objective and not on narratives. But let's just add some another voice to this conversation. Zachary K. Hubbard. Now, you're not the numerology guy, are you?
Man, Lord Jamar, come on, man. You promoted my book big time back in the time of
I'm not going to have you come up here with all these fucking numbers for fucking 45 minutes.
I'm not going to do numbers. I'm not going to do numbers.
What are we doing? You just want to chime in on this real quick?
I'm going to answer your question first of all, but then again, it's about having the right conversation, and America's not having the right conversation. We know the phrase, an armed society is a polite society. An armed society is a polite society. And the reason we know that phrase is because you don't go mouthing off to people in the Wild West unless you want to get smoked. The story we understand here, as we've been told, is this kid started an altercation, shoving, saying some racist stuff, essentially for no good reason, and he got stabbed to death. That's the story.
Was he saying racist stuff? That's my first time hearing that. I didn't hear anything about racist stuff.
He was with black people.
Right.
That group of kids.
Okay, all right. Let me finish.
Hold on, bro. No, you just can't come in here and start saying shit that just isn't true.
Well, what are you guys talking about that is true? What are you guys talking about that is true? You're talking about a news story.
He pushed him.
Now, hold on,
and stabbed him.
Hold on. The name Carmelo Anthony. Did that news story break the same day as the Carmelo Anthony that we all knew from the professional basketball league? Did it happen the same day that he got elected to the Naismith Hall of Fame? And did they bring this story back in the time of the NBA Finals between New York and Texas? Like Carmelo played professionally in New York and Texas. I know I've taught, I'm not going to go on the whole number thing, but I taught Lord Jamar about 42 in Black history. I know the stabbing supposedly happened on 4/2, and then the final started just a couple days after Carmelo.
Yeah, I can't. Zach. We can't do that. I'm sorry.
Why?
We can't. We're not doing that. All of that shit. We're not doing that.
Come back, Roman.
Come on, Roman. Get back here. Oh shit. Yeah. We're not doing all of that fucking numerology, gematria shit. I hear you, but let's just get to what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Like, I
I'm okay with our friends, our people saying, fuck it. He caught a bad one. I don't give a fuck. What I'm not okay with is trying to coat the narrative into we all have guys that we love that have done some fucked up shit.
Let
There
me
are
ask you,
guys.
is there ever a time that someone should walk away from confrontation?
I just
Al-
did.
Almost all the time, if you can.
Hmm. Who teaches that? Where
I
do you learn such kind of emotional control?
should come from your parents first.
Right back to the parents here.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think the real culprits here, maybe the parents on both sides, huh?
I
Maybe
agree.
the parent that said, you know what, you're the leader of the team. If somebody comes in your tent, push them out of there. And then the other parent who didn't instill emotional regulation within their child and told them, somebody puts their hand on you, you fucking, you take it to the next level. Like,
Now that you bring up a point because maybe the kid should have just called security instead of getting into it with him on himself. Maybe he should said, "Hey, there's a guy in our locker room," because that tent is essentially a locker room, right? Your teams have locker rooms on track and field. Everybody has their own tents. Maybe he should have just called security and called the teacher and said, "Hey, let's get this guy. This guy is not from our school. He's in our tent. Can you have him leave?" I mean, this is
Yeah,
something that I would say, yeah.
if the stars aligned, I think we're missing the basic point. These are a bunch of teenage kids at a track meet. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever had y'all kids in a marching band competition, football game, track meet, football games. These kids are going over to the visitor side coming over to the home side, track meet.
not
Everybody's
too
walking
much.
all over the
Nah, I'm
field.
gonna be honest. No,
There is no security. There's
I never
no.
used
This
to
is.
go to the. I used to stay on my fucking side. Why I want to go to their side for?
But
There's
what
a
I'm
reason
saying
why
is
people do that.
this is a thing. This is what young people do. This is
To
high
be
school.
assholes, to be
No,
instigators of some
you
shit.
could be
Oh
a
yeah,
boy and you like a girl on the other side and you trying to see what the other girls look like, or you could be a
okay.
big dog and you trying to flex on the visitor side and you trying to go over there to make your presence. This is high school. This is what these children do.
The
Mhm.
fact that
And in
the
high
fact that
school, we did a
Carmelo was
whole lot of
suspended.
dumb shit. And when we got caught doing something, and somebody said, "Hey, what are you?" We'd run away. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't pull out knives and stab them. Like it's just like, come on.
But I agree. Most people wouldn't, but Carmelo did, and we
Right.
have to talk
So
about this
why are
isolated
we?
situation.
So why are we? Why are we? Trying to bend over backwards for the analogy. You just said most people wouldn't do this. Yet he did what most people wouldn't do, and we're
Right.
trying to defend that. Why?
And it doesn't mean that it wasn't self-defense. Every person has the right to have the self-defense argument made for them in court, whether you like it or not. Point blank, period.
What is self-defense? What is self-defense?
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
So
I'm not a
then
lawyer.
But you're saying that was
Right,
self-defense.
but you keep talking about self-defense.
You're saying it's
if you don't
self-defense.
know
Right.
what
What is self-defense?
I don't want to.
is,
Right. Self-defense. Right. Self-defense could be whatever you feel like is. You believe that self-defense is in that matter of time. I don't want to speak about what I believe it is in totality because I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to. This guy. I'm telling you the truth. I believe that. He in his mind, he thought he was in danger. He thought he could have lost his life. He thought
Because he
something
got
really bad could have
pushed.
happened.
because he was pushed.
Right. Somebody
He
touched
thought
him
he could
first.
lose his life because he was
A
pushed.
jury didn't agree
And
with
this
that.
is what I said about the pussification of this fucking generation.
And I agree with that.
A
Now,
push.
Let me ask you this: the fact that he was suspended and he wasn't supposed to be there, and he was suspended for bringing a knife to school, and he wasn't even supposed to be at that track meet, does that factor into your decision that he should get acquitted? Or
Let me ask you a question. Carmelo didn't have a history of fighting, and he didn't have a history of stabbing people before this incident. So I think
We
the same
don't
way
we
that
don't know
I think
that he doesn't have a
yes
convicted
yes
history.
we do. Yes
We
we
don't have a
do.
convicted history.
Yes,
How do you know?
yes we
So he-
do. Yes, we do. There
People
because there
commit
have been
crimes
because there
and
have
don't get
because
caught.
there have
all the
been
time.
there have been witnesses at the courthouse that have during that trial that were doing their research and debunking all of the false narratives that were coming out on Carmelo. One of the narratives was that he was fighting in school, that he actually had a history of back and forths. It turns out that was actually not true. All of this is
I never said he
available.
fought. I never said he fought. I said that he was suspended for bringing a knife to school.
Right. And the same way that priors get judged by things that they've done in the past, why aren't we going to hold Carmelo by that same standard? This was a good kid. He had a 3.8 GPA. He allegedly held down 2 jobs. He had a good reputation in the community as a hard worker. He
wasn't a fucking asshole who made a bad decision.
But what I'm saying is, how come all of a sudden he makes a fatal mistake and now he's a YN? He makes a fatal mistake and everything. Everything just goes out the window.
We're not talking about
argument.
a YN. Nobody said that here,
because even you,
I don't know where that's coming from.
does it matter that he was suspended from school? He doesn't have a bad history of being a bad student.
No, what I'm saying was he
That
wasn't
doesn't
supposed to be at a
matter
school
to
event.
me, though.
He was
That
not supposed
doesn't
to be at a
matter.
school event. You are suspended from school. There's no reason for you to be at a school event when you're suspended 2 weeks prior. He had 2 weeks of suspension.
He actually could at that track meet. He was actually allowed to be there. He was legally allowed to be there.
Was he? Okay. I don't know. I know
did,
he was
did he
suspended.
get he get charged with trespassing?
Legally allowed, like some sort of
get charged with trespassing?
Was put out in court so that he could be there. What do you mean legally allowed? I seriously doubt that. What are you talking about?
Okay. If I go in Walmart and I get caught stealing, I don't know, toilet paper, and they say, hey, you can't come in here for 2 weeks, and I go in there in a week, I could get a trespassing charge. He didn't get it. He would have got charged for trespassing if he wasn't supposed to be there.
He already stabbed someone. I think trespassing is the least of the fucking problems. Okay.
What I'm saying is
2 weeks of probation onto a 35
that's
years.
a charge that they would have put on him as well if he wasn't supposed to be there.
No.
I think if they wanted to,
all right, we'll have to agree to disagree on that.
I don't know. Do you know now? So you said that he should have received manslaughter. Do you know what the maximum for manslaughter is?
What is it?
20 years. Should he have gotten 20 years? Would you have a problem with that if you received the maximum manslaughter, lesser charge? Because the maximum for murder was 99 years, and he only got 35, 17 with probation. So if he would have got the maximum for manslaughter, would that be enough for you to say, okay, that's justified?
I don't like the 20-year sentence. I don't like the 35-year sentence. I don't like the 99-year sentence. Again, I'm going to stay what I've been saying.
What would you have been comfortable with? He walks. He says he never even said I'm sorry. So is he just to walk?
If he had an adequate self-defense case in court and he won his case, I would be perfectly fine if he walks.
And if he had an adequate self-defense case and he got 10 years, would you be happy with that? Or that's too
question.
much?
That's a fair question. Would that be too much? See? You see?
It would be better than 35.
Well, he's really probably only going to do.
He's probably only going to do 17.
Have
any kind of
punishment. You don't have anything.
But this is why I'm not a judge. This is why I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the one making the decisions. It doesn't matter what I think. He got 35 years. It doesn't matter what I think, does it?
Trap. What is your relationship with white people? Do you like white people?
I have a great relationship. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I have a great relationship with white people.
Yeah. I mean, I just asking because it seems like you just want this kid to get off because he's black and he killed a white person.
Did I say that?
Comes across that.
Is that what I said?
That way.
Is that what I said? What did I say? What did I say about 10 minutes ago? I said it's sad that I never want to have to bury my child. I said that I also would never want to have to do time with my child in prison. I'm a parent.
Right.
And you're a responsible parent.
In the white boy's parents' shoes, would you think him getting off when he had adequate defense, would you think that would be okay if it was your child?
if
And
I
the
was in the
roles were
white,
reversed?
if I was Jeff Metcalf, I would be biased for my child. Just
Right.
just as if I was Carmelo's dad, I would be biased for my child.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you biased for now?
Right.
I'm biased for the best decision.
I'm saying we shouldn't be biased at all. We should let the truth fall where it may and accept that when we see it, when we hear it, when it's presented to us, and not try to twist it and bounce it and somehow find ways to make it fit into some sort of mold that we have created for ourselves. That's all I'm saying.
One thing that I'll say, hold on, one thing.
Not just any individual here.
Trap did bring up a very good point. To be fair, Carmelo didn't have the best defense. And I think a large part of that is because of the parents' poor decisions. Parents' poor decisions on how they're handling things. I thought having what's that guy, Alexander? I thought that completely fucking derailed any kind of defense that any lawyer could have put together, because this guy's running his mouth, and he's how easy is it for the prosecution to use his words to lessen the jury pool to have black people on there by the things he's saying. If you're a prospective juror and I say, hey, are you familiar with the case somewhat? Did you hear Alexander's, racist slant? And you'll say yes. We can't have him there because he's already tainted. This is how having Alexander involved fucked up their opportunities to give an adequate defense. And it might even fuck up their opportunities for, their appeal.
I disagree. I don't think Dominic Alexander, anything that he says at this point is going to affect the appeal. Now, the initial trial,
it might. I'm saying
no. He's gone. He's dismissed. Like he there was an interview that came out that he did with a young content creator by the name of Neek at Night, and he actually told a false truth in that interview that just came out like a day or two ago. So anything that he says at this point is out of the picture. I don't think anything he says is going to affect the appeal. I will say, though, that he did do the Carmelo family a disservice by initially introducing race into this situation. I think that him not, if he wouldn't have did that, the narratives would be, a little bit better. The race talk would have been a lot less. But yeah, I don't think Dominic Alexander, I don't think anything he says is going to affect the appeal going forward.
I hope not. I want the kid to have a fair trial. But
I do too. I do too.
I mean, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is what I can see on that video. It was not the confrontation wasn't very long.
No, it was less than a minute. So if you have
if
you saw
less
5
than
minutes,
10 seconds maybe.
If you have a longer version, I would love to see it. It was definitely less than a minute. The clip I saw
a push
from the group walking up to him running away was definitely less than a minute. I think it was like 58 seconds.
How do we go from a society of F the police and all of this kind of stuff to now believing everything that is presented before us?
That's a fair point. I'm not saying that. I don't want to say F the police.
I mean, you're dealing with we're in the age of AI. We're dealing with, we're in a whole nother level of existence we never seen before.
So that video was AI?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying all of a sudden, why are we just so quick to be like, see, there it is. He did it. And not understanding that there's
more
other
mature now, right? I think we're more mature, and I think we don't fall into emotionalism as easily as we did when we were younger. Also, if you're going to be real, at the time that Fuck the Police came out, a lot of us were still kind of into criminal activity, right? Let's keep it fucking real, right? And now we're not so much. Now
did the police abuse Carmelo Anthony? Did they grab him? Did they slam him down to the ground?
Did they put their knee in his neck?
They put his knee in his neck, and he's screaming, "I can't
And,
breathe."
and to say that is not trying to say that the police are good people. We know that the government and all these motherfuckers are pieces of shit. We know that. But at the same time, we're not going to fucking just go with every narrative that's put before us.
So let me ask you.
Take us where the truth leads us. And
So
that's what the fuck it is, whether it's unpopular or not.
Lord J and Roman, let me ask you both. So if Carmelo was your son, and okay, so now we have what? We have a 4-minute videotape out there, right?
If
What
Carmelo was my son,
let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
He would have fought him.
No.
He wouldn't have done no dumb shit like that.
Let me ask. If there was a 10 to 15 minute video out there in with a little bit of better, clearer quality that really showed how these events unfolded all the way up until Carmelo ran away, and it was your son's life and freedom on the line. Let me ask you a question. Is that the tape that you would want the jury and the public to see, or would you want that trash ass bullshit that we all saw leaked out to the public for your son's freedom on the line? Do you want the better tape out there, the longer tape?
I want the better tape
exactly.
out there. Why isn't it out there if it exists? Whose fault is that? I'm the parent, right? You just asked that. So as the parent, I want that out there. So why the fuck his parents don't have it out there?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
What are we talking about here?
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not gonna act like this case wasn't a slam dunk case for the prosecution and the judge. This boy, they might as well just send him no trial, just send him to jail for 35 years. When is the last time you heard of a 7-day murder trial with a court date on Saturday in the history of the United States in the past decade? 20 years.
Well,
we never heard of that. We've never a murder trial in 7 days with Saturday court.
Trial, but I've been in court on a Saturday.
A case of this magnitude, national coverage, national
I've
coverage.
never heard of no shit like that.
Exactly.
Hang on.
So we're not going to act like there cannot be things, behind the scenes, that's being manipulated or whatever. My bad.
Now you're speculating. The best out of 2159. Thank you. He said, "Where's the video from his fake homie Eddie Para? Who recorded it all? Where's the video from the other kids under that tent?" I don't know. Thank you. Good question. Where is it?
That's a fair question. That's a very fair question.
Very fair question.
And
In the times we live in, not to cut you up, but in the times that we live in, where everybody got a fucking phone, everybody's always fucking recording. Yes. Why is it that we only have one video from far away, very grainy? Why isn't there any videos from right under the tent, up close, that shows exactly what happened? Until we have those videos, though, we're not going to just speculate on what might be in those videos. The only video we do have is the video we've seen so far. Now, do we know that that's not AI? Listen, we live in a crazy time. I told you the devil is about all kinds of confusion and trickery. But I think if it was AI, somebody would have ran it through Grok or one of these fuckers right by now, and they would have said, "Oh, the probability of that video is this, that of being AI." So I don't think it's AI. So that's all we can really go by. I don't really want to hear about these videos that we haven't seen. Until we can actually see these videos, it's all just conjecture. It's all just shit to try to confuse people. From what I've seen in this grainy ass video, the boy looked guilty. Period.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on. Before we move on, you asked if that was my son.
Yes.
If that was my son, I would pack his bags and go on the run, because I know he's going to jail. And if we get caught, we get caught. I'm being honest with you. I would say he's wrong. We out of here. Let's go. Gone in 60 seconds. Bring your PS5. Bring the laptop. We're gone. We'll be somewhere in some fucking South American country trying to live it up, because I know he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail after I had the fact. That's just,
and if anybody has some of
And that's
these
just being real.
other videos? Could people say I saw the video? Could you please put the link in the comments or something so we can see this shit? So I could click on the motherfucker? Because I see people in the chat saying, "Oh yeah, I seen it. I seen it." Where?
Post it.
All I know is that
is there any way they can post it? Can they post the link?
That's
in
what
the
I'm
chat?
saying. If you could, yeah, they could post a link in the comments. Post the link, and let's click on this motherfucker and let's see these videos that y'all are talking about. But if y'all can't find these videos, please stop making shit up.
Well, here's what all I know is that a lot of the witnesses that have seen footage, they've been saying this even before the trial. They've been saying that the videos that they have been seeing when they went to Frisco ISD have been in clear quality, and it's not the same videos that they show the jury, and it's not the same videos that we're seeing online. And these are over 20 witnesses that's saying the same thing. So we're not. All I'm saying is that I'm not going to sit here.
Where are you getting this from?
These are witnesses that were going up to Frisco during the trial. There's a list.
And who are they telling this to? Like, where is this? Where are you getting this from? What is the source? You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to really start getting to the source. Now, Mike 1393 said they're known for railroading us. You know what? That's true.
That's true.
But that doesn't mean they're railroading in this particular case. You see what I'm saying? Like, both things could be true.
If we reversed races, if we reversed races and it was a black kid that was stabbed with a bunch of white kids that surrounded him, how would you feel? Would you feel any different? Be honest. Keep it real.
A black kid that was stabbed.
Well, he was fine with the white boy burning up the black kid earlier. So
I didn't say that. I said that the black kid shouldn't spit.
In your eye.
I said he shouldn't have spit on him. So y'all be trying to. Y'all don't be listening. Y'all be trying to get tied up in my words.
You said he shouldn't have spit on him, which implies that you was
this world would be a better place if you taught your kids not to spit on other. If you taught your kids not to spit on other people and touch and hit other kids. This world
would be a better place that if that does happen, you taught your kids to sometimes just walk away. It's not worth it. It would be a better place on both sides, not just one side. Not just
I agree.
One who initiates.
But it's like y'all. It's like everybody. Every time we talk about the stabbing, everybody forgets why Austin was stabbed.
Because he got pushed, and we don't feel that that's a good enough reason. That's why.
So hold on. If the roles were reversed,
it is some pussy shit.
Do you think if the roles were reversed, the majority of our people would not be, thinking that it was an injustice in terms of his sentencing? The majority would not feel like if the roles were reversed.
I think if the roles were reversed, I think we would still be having the same conversation. I think there would still be outrage, just like it is right now if the roles were reversed.
Look, it says it's hard to walk away when you're surrounded by goons. First of all, he wasn't surrounded. It's hard to walk away, but it was easy for him to run away, right? Once he stabbed him, it was very easy to run away from these so-called being surrounded. But he couldn't walk away with emotional fucking sensibility. You couldn't do that. Come on, man. I'm not buying none of this bullshit that motherfucker.
So do words. Let me a push.
It's not about saying on cold Lake Shore. It's about telling the fucking truth.
Could words lead to someone dying? Not a push, because the push isn't going to kill you. But do words have that much power that you feel somebody's life is in jeopardy?
Okay.
If he said, "I'm going to punch you in your face," no, you're not.
So I'm gonna give you the real. I'm not even gonna use feel. Right? Words. If you say the wrong thing to somebody, on the wrong time, wrong day. You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know that person. Your words could actually cost you your life.
Facts. Is it right?
It's not right. But
My man.
I live here on earth, and it is what it is,
My
man.
man.
So now here's the thing, right? Let's switch this even more, right? Now say we're talking about a woman and a man.
Uh-oh.
The woman fucking curses the man out. Maybe she slapped him.
Free
And now
ticket.
the man breaks her fucking neck or slits her fucking throat or shoots her in the head. Trap the Don. Are you telling me that she shouldn't have done what she whatever she did? Like she shouldn't have done. She got fucking.
Can you hear
murdered?
me, Lord Jamal? My bad.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Is that okay too in those situations?
So
because society will try to tell us that is not okay.
So
if a woman hits you as a man, you are not supposed to hit her back and all that type of shit and blah 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 blah. So go ahead, tell me what's up.
Okay, I'll give you an answer.
Your woman does shit like that to you.
I'll give you an answer. So I got 2 daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I occasionally have these conversations with them. I always tell them every now and again, you might disagree with a man. You might get into a verbal back and forth with a man. Don't you ever raise your hand to a man, because when you do, he's going to show you who the man is.
Right. But
and I say that because I'm not going to be there in that exact moment to protect them. So the best way that I can protect them is to tell them, to give them that game, to never do that. And the man is wrong, and the man is wrong for that. It's just, we just don't do that.
And just don't do that. And bless your daughters for having a father that can tell them that. But now what about all those girls who don't have a father out there, whose mother will tell them, if a man does that, you better fucking stand up to him and all this other bullshit. And then she gets her fucking her wig pushed back for putting her hands on a man and all of that. Like, society would say that the man is in the wrong, even if the woman touched him first. Am I right on that?
You are right.
Society would say the man needs to walk away.
Yes.
But you're saying if it's 2 men, that's not. It's totally different. Like
it is.
It's not though. It's
really going to be looked at different by a jury.
Because to me, if a woman slaps me and I slap her back, again, that's consummate to the force that was given to me. If she slaps me and I take out my knife and stab her in the fucking throat, I can't say, well, she shouldn't have slapped me.
Yeah, but there's also only one.
There's only what kind of force you're gonna return.
But you weren't about to get, but you weren't surrounded. There wasn't 20 women in front of you though, Lord Jamal. It was just you and that woman.
Come on, man, that don't matter though. And I didn't see 20 people in front of him. 20 people wasn't in front of him. What are we talking about? Come on, we making shit up, man. First it's 4, now it's 20. Like, come on.
I mean, I'm just hypothetically speaking. Hypothetically speaking.
And the more hypothetically we speak, the worse and worse we make the scenario sound. And then people start to hear these hypotheticals as real shit. They start to hear this as facts surrounding the case, and they're not.
Right. And that's why
we can only go by the video that we have right now. And in that video, the boy is wrong. Period.
We're gonna have to disagree to agree on that one.
Okay.
Because I know that's what they want us to see.
God Body Raffy said, Punk Shop Up to Get Beat Down includes women too.
Hey, hey.
Can we hold on before we move forward? Can we give a shout out to the women who get an eye jammy from their man and don't call the cops?
Who, like Big Tigger's wife?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Ooh, wow.
Now, you know, she shouldn't have said what she said. Or she wouldn't have got eye jammy. I'm just saying every action has a reaction is basically what you're saying, right?
I hope she hires Alexander for her public speaking. Free my nigga Tigger.
So it's like, you know, yeah, every action has a reaction. And what you're saying is the reaction could be from 0 to 1,000. Who knows? So what's the point? Don't cause any reactions in people, I guess. I mean, and see, here's the thing. You never know what's going to cause a reaction.
Exactly.
You might walk up with a fucking blue shirt on and the nigga hates blue shirts. Now he stab you. In your world, it's like, well, I shouldn't have been wearing a blue shirt. Like, he threatened wearing a blue shirt was very threatening to him. You got to understand, he comes from a place where blue, meant that you can be harmed. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to stop. At some point, man, there's right and there's wrong, man. That's all I'm saying, man. And we got to stop putting these black, because he's black or he's white. I'm just going by the situation. Fuck the color.
Exactly. That's where I was all along. So I was never in the black and white. All the
extra shit about the jury afterwards and all that, that's all after the fact. Even if there was a tainted jury, there wouldn't be a jury if he didn't do that dumbass shit in the first place. Okay?
And I agree.
We really have to focus on that point, those decisions that happen in that moment in time, and stop trying to come with all this other shit to try to make it seem like somehow maybe his decision wasn't as bad as it was.
Was Austin's decision as bad as it was?
Austin's decision turned out to be a bad one, but no one would have ever imagined that it would have led to that.
Right, because Austin had an entitlement that he had authority over.
See, now you're assuming that. You're assuming that.
I'm not assuming
now
that.
You don't know what Austin thought. You don't know what Austin
Let me tell you something.
But when people assume
on Austin, hold on.
Like, I don't know what Carmelo thought exactly.
If Carmelo would have swung, caught Austin in the jaw, dropped him, he broke his neck on, whatever, the bleachers or whatever was there, no one's going to say murder. The fact that we're overlooking the fact that he taunted him by saying, touch me and see what happens. I'm not going nowhere. With his hand on the knife, he could have just said, you know what, I'm going to leave.
But the Metcalf brothers are like 215, 220. Mellow a stick. And the white boys are trained in martial arts and known to be bullies. See, this is the type of extra shit that gets piled on. I don't know if that's true or not, but that sounds like the type of shit that they add to the mix to try to make shit seem like it's just crazier than it was. Listen, I've fought people bigger than me in my lifetime, bro. Like, it just fucking happens, man. And guess what? You can win. You can win. That whole shit about the bigger they come, the harder they fall is true.
Or lose.
If we're gonna assume that Carmelo learned these things or from his parents or whatever, how come we can't assume that the apple didn't fall too far from the tree on Austin's part after we've seen what Jeff Metcalf has been out here doing and saying?
See what it sounds like, right?
He might be right. That's a fair point.
Right, but here's what I'm saying is,
but he's dead.
if you go by the logic of how society says, you're victim blaming. Like, you're a victim blamer. You're like, when somebody gets raped, right? Like, I totally am one to say, well, what does she have on? What time of night was it? Where was she? Like, but if you ask those questions, that's victim blaming. You're not supposed to do that. You know that's not politically correct, right? To victim blame. I'm just saying. Like, so, and I feel like, again, if this was switched from instead of white, black to man to woman, it's a totally different outlook. The
What do you
woman
mean?
is supposed
If
to
who
be.
was the woman? If who was the woman in this scenario?
I mean, just men and women, period. I'm not even going by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
So okay, if who was the woman? If the white boy was the woman. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So if the white boy was the woman and did some shit that ended up getting her assaulted, you see what I'm saying? Like if she got raped or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? But she came to his fucking hotel at 3 a.m. in the morning with some fucking skimpy shit on and was making out with him and fucking grabbed his dick and all this fucking shit. And then at the very end, she said, no, I don't want to fuck. And then this nigga go ahead and take the pussy. You would be mad, Trap the Dawn. You would be mad. You would be like, no means no. And fucking, you wouldn't be ready to victim blame. But I kind of agree with you on that. I would victim blame in that case. Hey, she shouldn't have fucking been there. She shouldn't have been out fucking acting like a fucking whore. But at the same time, the law would have locked his fucking ass up for fucking rape. And it is what it is, man. And we can't say, oh, well, what did she? Nobody's looking at what she did. And, you know, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, to a degree. Yeah. All I know is that from the jump, I can honestly say, at my big old age of 37, which I know ain't really that big, but I can honestly say, like, I feel like I'm getting to a point in my life where, I am able to look past, it was about race, black and white, and this, that, the third, because, like when I heard the verdict, that was the first thing that went through my mind. Oh, they're trying to railroad another black man. Oh, they're trying to get some free labor out of him, and send him back out to the streets. But then I actually had to sit, think, go back, listen to everything, look at both sides. And, like I tell everybody, the more and more you examine the events and the case, it actually becomes less and less about race and more about the fact that Carmelo actually did not have an adequate defense. It actually becomes less and less about race and more about the fact that Carmelo didn't have
after the fact. Defense. I don't give a fuck about his defense. He should have never fucking stabbed the motherfucker in the first place. Period.
Austin,
we wouldn't be talking about adequate defenses and all of that if he made the right decision. Sorry.
If Austin would have made the right decision, we wouldn't be here as well. If we're gonna blame Carmelo, we're gonna blame Austin. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay. So we'll blame both of them then. I have no problem with that.
Yes.
But I'm not letting fucking Austin off.
Because here's the thing.
I'm not letting Carmelo off. And Carmelo made the worst decision. He made a worse decision than what Austin did, because Austin pushing the kid, the worst thing that could happen, I don't know. I mean, maybe he could have slipped and hit his head and died. That could have possibly happened, but the chances of that were lower than stabbing someone leading to death is higher than pushing someone and leading to death. So what I'm saying is, I think they both needed to think about what the fuck they were doing.
Yes.
But even still, what Carmelo did was worse. That's it. Don't matter if homeboy put his hands on him and all this bullshit that I'm seeing in the chat. Oh, he should have never put his hand. Shut the fuck up. Y'all sound stupid as fuck right now. Seriously. You're pissing me off with this shit.
I think with this whole thing, we like as men, we should tell our younger brothers, our younger nephews, cousins about this story. Because this story is like all about resolution conflict, like for sure. It ain't got nothing to do with black and white. Somebody said in the chat, everything's about race. Yeah, if you make it about race. But we have a whole country of young black men, young white men, young Latino, young Asian that really need to understand exactly what happened in this particular situation so that as young men and men, you know what I'm saying, we can really understand, yo, shit doesn't have to go down like that.
See, here's the thing. I'm seeing all these other peripheral arguments. I don't think a white kid in Carmelo's shoes would have got 35 years. You know what? You might be right. You might be right about that. Still, that does not justify what he did. For him to not have the emotional intelligence to say, wait a minute, if I stab this kid, not only could I maybe take his life, but I could be throwing my own life away. Like, what did he really think he was standing? He was standing on business? Yo, because I heard he said, oh, if you touch me, you're going to find out what happens. Like, I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard he yelled some shit out like that. And so now when the motherfucker pushed him, boom, he stabs him. And all I'm saying is, why are we not thinking this shit through? See, that's why we need to learn how to play chess. You need to learn to teach your children how to play chess. You know why? Because in chess, you have to think moves ahead. What your opponent might, if I do this, my opponent will do that, and then and so on and so forth. I don't think people are even to the point where they're thinking past just one move. They have that one move and they're not even saying, okay, now if I do that, now what's going to happen? Because if you would have, maybe you would have drawn it in. Maybe you would have just pushed them back. Maybe you would have said, you know what? You know what? I see you got all your people. You got this, man. I'm a chill because if I really react like how I want to, y'all motherfuckers gonna be bleeding out here like stuck pigs. So let me get the fuck out of here right now. You know what I mean? He could have said some fly shit like that or whatever the fuck, but he didn't do none of that.
And showed up tomorrow with a styrofoam cup.
Or he could have showed back up with his fucking 20 fucking people or whatever the fuck. And who knows? I don't know, man. But yeah, homeboy shouldn't have pushed him or whatever. He shouldn't have put his hands. First of all, I don't even like how that sound when I'm hearing grown men say, nobody should put their hands. You sound like bitches, yo.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
You sound like fucking bitches. Straight up. Every nigga in this fucking chat talking about he shouldn't have put his fucking hands. You sound like a fucking bitch. Fuck out of my chat.
How they sound? How they sound?
Like fucking bitches. No man, nobody should put their hands on somebody. Fuck up, nigga. You should just be standing in the elevator, all of a sudden, boom! Nigga just punch you in your chest for no reason, nigga. That's not how fuck we came up.
How they sound?
Little fucking girl. Fucking bitches. That ass, man. Ain't a bunch of men who's supposed to be men in the chat. Talking about, well, he didn't have a right to get. Oh my goodness, man. Yo, put the fucking sevens in the chat if you feel me right now. Let me see the fucking sevens in the chat. If you fucking agree with what the fuck I'm talking about right now. Niggas are sounding like bitches in the fucking 2026.
Yeah, you got.
Y'all should know better. Y'all should fucking know better.
You got to remember, Lord J, we in the time where these dudes is painting their fingernails and all that too. Like
exactly. Exactly. So let's not defend fingernail painting activities. Huh? We do man shit. We gotta represent man shit. And we gotta call shit out when it's not man shit. When you going against man codes. I'm sorry, like, and it's not for me to teach the Metcalfs of the world. That's the white people's job. This guy was black. He's one of ours. So we have to teach him. I can't worry about what the white boy did. See what I'm saying? Like, that's their job to teach their children. And it's our job to teach our children right from wrong.
I agree.
Teach our children right from wrong.
And Lord J, I just want to say this too, while you right there. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, you know, I do push the Carmelo defense as far as my point of view, where I come from. I do want to say this, right? On some man shit, right? Outside of the legal shit, right? I agree with you 1,000%. On some man shit, that what Carmelo did, that is some pussy ass shit. Like, that is, you know what I'm saying, on some man shit. You know what I'm saying? You do gotta squabble up. You do gotta knuckle up. The first fight that the first real legit fight in a public setting where dozens of people were seeing when I was in the 7th grade was with a dude named Brandon Williams. We were in the same, we had the same homeroom class. The homeroom was only like 50 minutes. He saw a girl that he liked, turn around, start talking to me. She was giggling. I wasn't even into the girl like that because I ain't know her like that. The bell rings, we get out into the hallway. He grabs me by the collar of my shirt and is like, if you talk to her again, it's gonna be on. So right then and there, that's when we got the swinging, because I wasn't gonna let that go, that because I knew if he thought he could get away with that once, he gonna try it again. You know, and both of us had bloody noses and went to in-school suspension.
Did you stab him?
I'm just making a point. Like, even, you know what I'm saying, like, that was just on some shit, some man shit, that some male shit, you know what I'm saying, that I was on. So I'm just making the point that, like, I agree. Like, if you're a man, you do got to know how to handle shit with your hands. Now, if we're gonna talk about legalities, we you know, all of that is different. But that's what the law. But on some man shit, yeah, you do got to understand. You got to be a little bit nice with your hands, even if you're not that nice with your hands. You know what I'm saying? You don't really gotta. You don't have to grab anything. You can try to push somebody off of you. You know what I'm saying? Try to restrain somebody. But I just want to say that, though. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on some man shit when you handling confrontation with another man.
And also I want to say, like, Original Man 76,634, thank you for your donation. He said he was railroaded. His lawyer never objected to one single thing. That was on purpose because he would need objections to file an appeal on any basis. Now, here's the thing. That may very well be true, right? But we keep talking about things that happened after the fact. If we know that we live in a racist country that railroads black people and all this type of shit, well, then why are we putting ourselves in positions to be railroaded? Why are we doing dumb shit? If we feel that we truly live in this society of systemic racism and we can't catch a break as black people, then why are we doing shit to put ourselves in the line of fire and in this position? Why are we not thinking smarter if the rules are different for us? Just a question I'm asking. Anybody?
I would answer that question by saying this. I believe that the majority of us are moving smarter as far as black people, melanated people, however you want to say it. You know, because again, it's not every day that we're seeing a Carmelo situation escalate like this. Like, now, are there incidents that happen, you know, from time to time in all of these different towns? Absolutely. I just think that, you know, Carmelo was like an anecdotal thing that just so happened to make it to the national media. But just even being around a bunch of suburban kids, and I have my children in all kind of gymnastics and dance and all of that kind of stuff. Like these kids today, they could care less. Like they just want to be on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think a lot of young people do have their minds, but you know, I think a lot of parents do need to still talk to their children and, you know, just have them understand the reality of what can happen if they get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
LJ, I got to get out of here.
All right, Roman.
All right, bro.
Great having
Be good.
you. Yes,
all right,
sir.
Roman.
Yeah, listen, man, we gotta teach our children, man, that you know, every decision you make, man, this shit can affect the rest of your life, man. This could affect the rest of your life. Like, I don't even understand what was supposed to be accomplished with that. Like, well, he's gonna know never to push me again. Like, okay, yeah, he knows that. And now you're gonna know never to fucking stab nobody again. Like, I just, it's just you're not thinking it through. People's not thinking it through. Like,
I agree.
because,
I agree.
you know, I can see in his mind, well, I gotta let him know that I'm not no fucking punk. He can't just push me. Just like homeboy, the white boy might have felt like, yo, I gotta let him know he can't just come around here. Like, you know, let me get his ass out of here. Like, whatever these motherfuckers are thinking in their mind. This shit just went bad. And I'm sorry, you're not gonna get me to believe that someone pushing me is, you know,
Right.
equal to me using deadly force against them. You know, and I love my black people. I wish we could be right all the time. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, I got to call a spade a spade. And in this particular situation, I feel like most of us are going with narrative and emotions rather than facts over feelings and being objective about the situation. That's all.
And see, and that's why it was important for this trial to be televised. Because at least if it was televised, we would be able to speak on this situation a lot more thoroughly. You know, we would be able to see everything, all of the moving parts in the courtroom. You know.
See, this is that punk ass shit that I'm talking about. Derek Franks. 5'8", 160-pound Melo should have just gotten pulverized by 6'1", 215-pounders. Why do you assume that he would have got pulverized? You can't beat nobody 6'1", 215 at 5'8"? You think that's impossible to do? Do you really? That's a fucking shame. And guess what? Yeah, maybe he could have got pulverized and lived to see another day and not been going to jail for 30 years and had his little wounds healed. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, we can't take an ass whooping no more? Like, nobody could take an ass whooping? Like, that used to be a thing. People would get their ass whooped. Some of the best motherfuckers you know got their ass whooped by somebody out here in this world. And they didn't fucking kill them afterwards. People got jumped, all kinds of shit. The fact that your pussy ass
is scared to get pulverized is part of the problem. The fact that you don't even know how to fight, which makes the odds of you getting pulverized even higher, is part of the problem. We need to teach self-defense training. It's not self-offense, it's self-defense training. That's something that we need to be teaching our seeds from young age. So maybe if he was armed with that knowledge instead of a knife, he'd have been able to diffuse the situation, or at the very least, put this motherfucker in some shit. Oh, you want to push niggas? Grab your fucking... It didn't have to go there.
I will agree with that. It didn't.
And that's all I'm saying. So everything else, yeah, maybe he was railroaded. Maybe he had horrible defense. You know what I mean? Maybe his parent, there's a whole lot of shit after the fact that we can say. This is why living in the moment is so important. Being able to think on your feet and make split decisions that can affect the rest of your life, people. This is the lesson that we need to learn, rather than us, bickering with each other over this shit. What's the lesson to be learned here? And now let's take that lesson and teach others, so that your son or daughter or whoever is not in this same situation just because you didn't arm them with what they needed to be armed with. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. And Lord J, you know what I'm saying? Just like I was saying last time, I even just as a grown man, you know what I'm saying? I know I would probably have a little bit more leeway, as far as my train of thought, when it comes to being in, situations off the rip. But even myself as a grown man, right? I really had to sit back and, understand, like, what is really self-defense? Like, it just really just made me have to think, I really just have to be careful out here, because, you thinking that you're in the right, but legally you might be in the wrong. So I think that we all should rethink, about how we would handle ourselves in certain situations. And I think that for whatever state that we live in, we need to learn the self-defense laws and the stand your ground law, whatever state you live in, because it varies from state to state. That's what I think for adults, as far as the lesson in this situation.
Shelly, Mystical got 20 years because he don't know how to stop raping broads.
Man, that's crazy.
That's why he got 20 years. How many times has he got locked up for rape so far? Is this like his third time? Seriously.
I feel like this is his third time, second to third time.
I think it's his third time, brother.
Did you see that he tried to withdraw the plea? But it got denied by a judge. He tried to withdraw the plea because he said that he didn't understand. He didn't understand the magnitude of the charges that he was facing.
Who? Mystical said this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. Uncivilized savage. All of women's problems start with men. Menopause, menstrual cycle, and mental health. That's a good one.
Man.
Thank you for that, uncivilized savage. But yeah, hang on a second. Oh, he put it up twice, actually. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, what was we just talking about before that though?
Mystical. Talking about
Oh
Mystical.
yeah, Mystical. Come on, man. He's a habitual line stepper, a habitual rapist. Like, what the fuck?
And then
Danger.
the fact that I guess the line that he said was he told the victim that she better pray. Did you see that? That she better pray before he does it or something like that?
No.
Like, yeah, I read a headline somewhere that it came out in court that in a testimony he said that he told the victim to pray before he does it to her or something like that, something crazy like that.
Wow. I mean, the nigga did have lyrics like, I came in here with my dick in my hand. Like, who says that? Like, seriously, like, what make you, as you writing your rhymes, that's the first fucking thing, that's your first line. I came in with my dick in my hand. Don't make me put my foot in your ass. Be cool. The girls. This is how he raping them.
Man.
He must be threatening to put his foot in their ass. Be cool. Like, nah, all jokes aside, Mystical is a piece of shit and he needs to fucking rot in jail. Like, can we agree on that? like, this is your third time getting locked up for rape. Can we agree that that's some piece of shit activities? And as Black people, we can't support people like that in our community, regardless how many hit records they might have had in the past, if they made us dance and all this type of shit. Once you doing shit like that, come on, man. Can't fuck with you, man.
Yeah, I
and
definitely
you know he's doing this to Black women, because if he would have did this to white women, he wouldn't have got out the first time.
He would have got.
But you know he's repeatedly raping Black women. Yeah, who'd have got 100 years doing 100 life under 100 jail? Yeah.
And then you look at his son. It's crazy, like how you have, like, you know, the parent and then you have the child, and it's like his child is very well spoken. You know what I'm saying? Looks like he has a bright future ahead of him. And I'm just like, man, how as a dad, man, as a father, man, because I always think about my context through the life of every decision I make is going to affect my children, like directly or indirectly. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that his son got to deal with his dad, you know, being behind bars. Because when people don't understand, when you get locked up, your family, the ones that really care about you, they're doing time with you too, man.
Hold up, this is kind of ill that I read this. Yo, that's Money Mike said, Mystical a sick dude. Say, crazy thing is, Shorty testified she went over there down to fuck, but he whipped her ass and took it. Oh, wow. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's like the example you just described when you was talking about the R situation, when we was talking about Melo. That's crazy. Man.
Right. Okay. He went over there and then he was with the shits. But he said, nope, I don't like willing pussy. Let me beat your ass and take this shit. Wow. That's fucking crazy. Well, hopefully that's the last we see of Mystical. I don't, ain't no more coming out and making more, you know what I mean? First of all, when niggas go to jail for that long, if you don't come out and really capitalize on this shit like a Max B and all that, like some of these dudes just come out and don't do nothing. Like, where's Fetty Wap right now? Is he making records?
I haven't heard one record.
I ain't heard one Fetty Wap record, although I just seen something. He might have did something with a country dude. So I'm not sure. But yeah, like Max B came out and got to the shit. Now, you might feel a certain way about Max B, but he definitely didn't waste no time.
How you feel? I saw that he made some comments about Big Daddy Kane like a few weeks back. You know,
Now, see,
basically,
that's where he bugged the fuck out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna be talking about Big Daddy Kane. You know what I mean? First of all, shout out to Big Daddy Kane. You know, I done been to his crib. Big Daddy Kane fucking cooked fucking fish and rice and okra and all this type of shit for us when we was at his crib. So you can't say a motherfucking thing about Big Daddy Kane to me in my fucking presence. I already loved him as a hip hop icon, but to invite me into his home and you know what I mean, and meet his wife and you know what I mean, she ended up going to the store for us and all kind of shit like that. It was like, nah, yeah, it's like Kane he upped his status with me crazy. So yeah, watch your mouth when you talk about Kane. You heard? Yeah, he was definitely out of pocket for that shit.
crazy.
But that's just hubris. That's just people feeling they so popping right now that they're in their own little bubble and they truly believe the hype. That's why Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype. Because there's hype out there to believe. You see what I'm saying? And if you believe the hype, sometimes the hype could be about you. You know what I mean? The hype could be about who you think you are. And you could start to believe that you're more important than you really are.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, he got to understand he was locked up for what, 18, 20 years, something like that. You know, there's a whole generation of artists, one or two artists, you know what I'm saying, that came out before the time when he was locked up and he came home. And there's a lot of incredible artists, you know, so I didn't like that for him to, you know, for that, I guess the top, it was either the top 50 or the top 100 artists or something like that. NY artists, I think. I'm not sure by Complex. And, you know, it's kind of like, homie, you've been locked away for 2 decades. Like, you gotta reestablish yourself with this newer generation. Because I've seen a lot of younger people like, yo, who is Max B? I never heard of him, and this, that, and the third. So
yeah, he was, you know, he was down with Dipset and all that. He was running with Jim Jones, but then they got in some beef. He wrote the We Fly High for Jim Jones. That really should have been his record type of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
So yeah, he had a lot of mixtape type of shit out. You know, a lot of New York niggas knew who he was, like before he went to jail type of shit. He was about to pop off, but he couldn't wait. You know what I mean? Couldn't wait his turn. He around a lot of money niggas. So then he tried to make a play that ended up getting somebody killed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so then he got sentenced to 75 years. But he lucky French did what he was doing while he was out here, and he kept his name in the mix, and somehow they got his ass out. So good for him. He's very fortunate. Silk Child, shout out to you. He said Mystical gonna be getting pushed up against the wall. Noah let him slide before. Okay. Listen, before we get out, I wanted to bring this up too. You might as well stay with me, Trap the Dawn. I want to see what you think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you saw this shit with Jay-Z, right? You saw Jay-Z is he's doing a thing with Target where he's releasing The Reasonable Doubt, a 30-year-old album. He's releasing that. He's doing a special release, a 30th anniversary release with Target.
Right.
Now, you know, there was some people boycotting Target and all this type of shit. And it seems like Jay-Z in the past has been like the line crosser of these, you know, of these strikes or whatever. When that shit was going on with the NFL, oh, we're past kneeling. And then all of a sudden he's doing the NFL Super Bowl halftime shows and he gets the money and all of this type of stuff. When the Nets wanted to come to Brooklyn, you know, I lived in that neighborhood actually at that time where the Barclays Center is at. And there was a lot of like, you know, neighborhood, like there was going to be neighborhood displacement in certain areas over there. Not where I lived at, but close by. And people were protesting and, oh, this is not good for Brooklyn. But then when he attached himself to it, he made it seem like he was one of the owners. And then
it
Right.
made people be like, oh, okay. So it's like he's the nigger whisperer for a lot of these white people. You understand what I'm saying? Now what I think people are not seeing, did you see the little behind the scenes thing where Beyonce was showing how they took out his locks and all that type of shit? Did you see that?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's been revealed yet, but I believe the play is, and Roman, we talked about this. We both believe this, that this whole thing about releasing an album is just a little tip of the iceberg. I believe they're gonna release that sacred fucking hair shit in Target. And that's where the fucking money is gonna come in. Where do you buy that? Where do you buy that stuff at? The sacred hair care stuff. See what I'm saying? Is that a brand that's already out there? Even if it is, if they were to now be, you know how many brands want to get in Target and shit like that in order to once you get into one of those type of stores, you understand what I'm saying?
I got
Once your brand gets in there, pew, you out of here. But it's hard for a lot of fucking brands to even get into those main stores like that. If you ever watch Shark Tank or shit like that.
And then I can see that. And then once J and B get their product in there, then you know it's going to bring that market of black people back, and black people are going to want to start putting their stuff on it. Okay,
especially for the hair shit, because we're like, well then fuck it, don't buy the album. It's a 30-year-old album. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like that's just the teaser shit. See what I'm saying? They can use their leverage together. So it's Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? So we're gonna release this album with y'all in Target, and then we're gonna have Beyonce's hair care shit in there, and that's where.
And then they're gonna go on the run.
Real money would be at.
Yeah, On the Run Tour 3, and they're gonna promote, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and all of that, and you can get all of that at the concert. You can get the reasonable, the 30th anniversary, the Target edition, and you can get the hair care shit right there. Yeah, because that was definitely a commercial. That wasn't no behind the scenes of how we. No, she's talking about and the product, and I put the product, and you only need, and so I left the product. It was a fucking commercial, bro. And so I'm just waiting. It
looks like it.
I'm just waiting for them to say available at Target. And when y'all see that, I just want you to say, damn, Lord Jamar told me they was going to do that.
I'm definitely going to be looking for that.
I'm telling you, that's the play right there. Watch.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Like, why you think it is that Jay is like that? Why do you think that, like, when black people, you know, decide to galvanize their support, you know, to withdraw support from a certain brand or service, what do you think would make Jay-Z like that? Like,
because some people are all about money and are all about themselves. It's not about what I can do for my people or how I'm, you know, representing for my people. I mean, I'll say shit like that when it sounds good, if that'll help me make money. You see what I'm saying? But for people like that, they don't really buy into that. You know what I mean? They don't really, you know, they're not on some B1 shit. They on some me one shit. You know what I mean? And so someone like Jay, I feel like, fuck black, fuck white. It's all about the green. You know what I mean? It's all about the green. And if he can make some big dollars out of it, he's going to do it. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, Lord Jay. Do you think that Jay became mad at black people? Because you remember, like, in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, Jay-Z was trying to tell these artists, the black artists, to stop giving their music away to streaming services because it's devaluing the music.
And then he creates a streaming service.
Right. And then also, and then he got a lot of pushback when he was from a lot of black artists when he was asking them to invest in it and they didn't. Do you think that could have made him look at black people and say, you know what? I ain't doing business with these Negroes anymore. I'm going to just be out for myself. Do you think that could have spawned, or has he always been like that?
Well, first of all, a lot of people did go with him to Tidal. I think a lot of people did invest in it. And then he did something. Maybe he gave them their money back, but then he ended up selling the shit for a whole lot more. And they didn't necessarily, I heard some funny shit about that. That's why Nicki Minaj got a problem with him right now. Some shit about this whole Tidal thing. I need to look more into that.
Because it's.
I don't know if he's mad at black people per se. I think people just get so isolated at one point, especially when you get to a certain level of money, where you get so isolated and everything is just revolves around you so much that I think, you become blinders. You only see certain shit. You're not really understanding that there's stuff outside of your bubble. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what this stuff creates, like money and stuff like that. It creates bubbles.
Do you think that Jay-Z isolating himself made him so out of touch to the point that he would make that ridiculous statement? Like he thinks that beef is bad for the culture.
Right. He said, battle rap. You see, everything he'll say one thing and then he'll do another. Because he just said, yeah, I think we've moved past battle rap, just like we moved past kneeling. But then he comes out at the Root picnic with a battle rap against everybody. You see what I'm saying? You just said the battle, we moved past that. But then here you come out with a diss track against everybody. Hang on.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's just the hypocrisy with Jay is like, because I've been noticing that because I like Jay as an artist, and when I hear people say things, I'm like, nah, that's not true. But then I see him go and do the opposite of what he said, and I'm just like, all right, maybe these people might be on to a little something, man. So yeah,
I mean, listen, I think there's something. Dame was his man, bro. And I think when they were able to divide and conquer that situation, and Jay showed the people, whoever he needed to show, that, yeah, fuck that. I'm ready to say fuck him if you guys will bring me up to a higher level. Like, you know what I mean? Those are the little tests right there. I think that, when he did that back then,
right,
that's just kind of the precursor to all of this shit. Like, if you do shit like that to your man, why wouldn't you do it to people that you don't know? You know what I mean? Like, he don't know us black people specifically. You know what I mean? He knows us as a general concept. And he knows that in the white world, he's the one that they can go to get us to do some shit. To get us to cross a line that we didn't want to cross before.
Right.
That's his specialty right now. And at some point we're going to have to show them and him that we don't give a fuck who you are. When something is important enough to us, we don't care who you roll out. But see, right now I don't really give a fuck about boycotting Target. They're doing that because of DEI or some stupid shit like that. Like, I don't give a fuck about all of that. But there's going to be something that we all really do care about. Because even the NFL with the kneeling shit, it was like, I mean, I didn't really care about it, but I was with it. I stopped watching football and all of that for a few years.
It made sense.
Watching football.
You know what I mean? But then it's
Yeah.
like somehow people started watching it again and this and that. And it's like, well, fuck it. Am I the only one not watching football anymore? Why do I got to be the holder of fucking boycotts and everybody else is not doing it, but I'm still expected to keep holding this shit and going on?
Yo, Lord J, you make a very valid point because, you know, I know a lot of people feel a way, you know, when you did your thing against Vlad, you know, when you was standing on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, like at when you and Godfrey both did it, I was like, yeah, because you two really were like the main dudes I was watching on Vlad. I didn't care to watch anybody else. I'm like Lord J on there, Godfrey on it. Let me hear what they're gonna say. But then when you went back, I was like, huh? Because you had did the interview, or Vlad had did the interview with Willie D.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in my mind, I'm like, nah, Vlad, you was supposed to make it right with Lord J. But I saw you had put out some messages, and then you went on Vlad, or sorry, you went on Vlad, and then you did the interview. You put out something on your Instagram, you know, basically saying that, you know, you did what you did, and y'all didn't support it. So you might as well, you know, and I will say this, right? Because I rock with you regardless. I understand people gonna do what they gonna do. People, at the end of the day, I'm gonna make the best decisions for Trap. And Vlad's gonna make the best. Jay's gonna make the best decisions. People in the chat is gonna make the best decisions for them, right?
Right.
But I really
and that's
do
what I feel like Jay-Z feels like he's doing. He's making the best decisions for him, not for the black community.
Yeah, and I will say this, right? It really does tick me off because, like, not too many people are willing to do what you did to take a stance like that. I think people miss the message of what you did was bigger than you going back on Vlad, in my opinion, because you were Vlad TV at the point in time when you decided to walk away, and the fact that people were still going over there watching that content, not supporting, not subscribing to you, not subscribing to Godfrey, not supporting the independent platform. We live in a capitalist society. And at the end of the day, we can only be activists for so long before it's like, you know what? I gotta do what I gotta do. And I'm not saying that's what you did, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out the realistic decisions we have to make in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Like even myself, right? I am an independent contractor. I don't work for corporate America. I make my own hours. What I do is hard. It's very hard working for yourself. But now that my daughter has graduated high school, I want to get another house, I'm about to go back into corporate America so that I can get my paperwork straight so that I can get another house. This will be my second house. So people just got to understand that, and people just are so quick to jump at any and everything and not realize, like, look at what the man did. He didn't have to do what he did when he decided to do it. And I think those are the things that we have to pay attention to, man. So I just want to say that, man, I salute you, and I salute all righteous people because I know you got a good heart, regardless, man. Because you do something that goes viral every few months, and I see people talking crazy, and I'm just like, they just don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
I just let them talk crazy. I don't stab them. I don't shoot them. I just let them talk crazy because I know at the end of the day, you might not understand my moves or whatever, but I understand. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like when I was gone, there was such a, like, I'm talking from Vlad, there was such a hole as far as like a conscious perspective. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we was gone for like 5 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, look, we got 93 people in the chat right now. You see what I'm saying? I could say some conscious shit right now. Only 93 people might hear it. When I go on there and say some shit, some conscious shit, I'm hitting hundreds of thousands of people in one fucking video.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking weigh your shit out sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? If we could have did it with circumventing him and not have, but y'all didn't support this shit. But then y'all still wanted me to, like, it didn't even make sense anymore. Like, it didn't even make sense anymore.
And what's crazy to me, Lord J, is you see all of these so-called black outlets, they'll reach out to break bread with CW, Charleston White. I don't know if you want me to say his name, but they'll reach out to put him on their platform. But when you was going through your thing, you know, I wasn't really seeing the support from them to you like that.
Only one that reached out was our Art of Dialogue. Shout out to Art. He was the only one. But yeah, you know, a lot of people say they about some shit, but they not really about that. You know what I mean? And then you make moves and you find out who's about, you know what I mean? What they say they are and who's full of shit. So yeah, I don't let none of these motherfuckers get to me, man. Fucking
and I will say the first Vlad interview that I did watch was your interview. When you left, after you left, I might have watched 1 or 2 Boozy interviews, and I'm like, man, Boozy, he ain't talking about nothing. And then when I saw you pop back up on that, I was like, I want to hear what Lord Jamar got to say. So yeah, man, we got to support our independent media, man, whenever we get a chance, man, because this shit is not easy, man.
It's not easy at all. Well, listen, Trap, I appreciate you coming on and you know, having your perspective on everything. We appreciate what you do. You want to shout out anything that you got going on or somewhere people can check you out at?
Yeah, man, I got a YouTube channel, but it only got like 3 subscribers. I don't post anything on there, but it's Trap the Don. You can find me on Instagram, Trap the Don _official on Instagram.
Trap the Don, all one word?
Yeah, Trap the Don, all one word, and then underscore official.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got I actually work under a different content name, but I'm not ready to put that out there yet. But when I do, I'll let y'all
know. We'll be here.
Yeah, absolutely. But appreciate you for having me on, Lord J. Salute.
No doubt, Trap.
Yes, sir.
Peace. All right, y'all. That was an interesting conversation. Oh, appreciate you, great Mahdi. Even though it's funny, you see a song like Deep Space. I don't subscribe to that anymore. Changed my mind, but I made a song called Deep Space, God damn it. Before I knew any better, before I knew there is no fucking deep space. But anyway, I appreciate y'all coming through. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week going into your weekend. Getting nice out there, y'all. So make sure you get outside and get some sun. Let it recharge your melanin. Give you some vitamin D. Yeah, I heard. That's right. A1 Drizzy, you know what it is. I thank you, Money Bags. I always appreciate a new subscriber. That's right. If you're new to the channel, you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, and click all so you'll be notified whenever we drop a new joint. All right. About to be out. Once again, for the God Pod with Lord Jamar, I am Lord Jamar. Shout out to my GPS family. And I will see you on the next